Guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. This is going to be a real quick update on BTC and ETH. We had a little bit of price action yesterday, so let's start diving in right away. But not before I ask you to like, subscribe, click on the bell, click, and also so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think that's useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And without further ado, let's now really start diving in. BTC USD on the 1 hour. This was the triangle that we were in yesterday, and I said, well, it is more likely for us to break to the downside because we're also bearish leading in. And you can see exactly we broke to the downside and we hit the target to the exact dollar. And with that being said, you could also say that we are now creating a new pattern, or better yet, that we just broke out, and that is that we are making or made this falling wedge right here, and then we just broke out, now having that retest, and then I hope that we are going higher. My first target would then be the value area low of the range above us, where we have been in already for a week or two, three, because that will be major resistance. If we manage to get back into the area, then it is to be expected that there is more upside, and then eventually we have the monthly open above us, the point of control, the golden pocket 78.6. There's still actually quite some resistance levels, but to be honest, guys, right now it looks a little bit bearish because we're also underneath the value area low. We have this box underneath us. That's what I just drew out, and that is kind of then the higher low that we made, that we cannot lose. We already said it multiple times. If we start closing daily candles underneath this area right here, so underneath 21,500, we have a break of structure on the daily. That is very bearish, and then we can expect a lower high eventually and more downward price action. So that would actually be a pretty bummer. Just right now here on this hourly, have to say price action not all too bad. We have the money flow curving to the upside. We're having here a bullish divergence on the hourly. I was even looking for maybe a triple divergence, so then we have a low, lower low, again a lower low, and that the momentum wave makes triple higher, and on that triple divergence I have 100% success rate. But the low that we made here was not lower than this low right here, so no triple divergence, but still a bullish divergence here on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, I have to say it is very tricky. I have no idea if we made a bullish divergence or not, because I think there is $1 or 1 point between this low and this low, so the white line is almost flat. But yeah, you could also say, you know what, we also made a bullish divergence here on the 4 hourly. So far we're seeing that these bullish divergences in the last 2 weeks just do not play out so much, or at least they don't give us such a great move, because the price action is just pretty bearish and just pretty slow. Yesterday we had a Powell testimony, just like we have or had like today. It's probably still going on while I'm recording this. Nothing new on the horizon, but this candle right here, that looks a bit like a doji. That was actually when Powell spoke yesterday. I have to say I tapped into the first hour of the testimony today, and there were quite a lot of questions about crypto. So it's interesting to see that there is quite some interest from the politicians into crypto, CBDCs, and everything that has to do with it. Bigger time frames then. Still doesn't look all too pretty. If we're just looking at this price action right here, this looks like the momentum wave still has some more room to the downside. Inward curve view up, that's pretty bearish, and of course also the money flow just slowly grinding lower. So I actually really want to see a reversal on the smaller time frames, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, and then eventually bleed over to the bigger time frames if we want to reverse to the upside. But for now it just looks weak. I would be very careful with trading, and actually I really want to see reclaim of that value area low, what I just mentioned before, because then you have overcome an important resistance that might then flip into support, 22,300, and then we can go higher. Then quickly at ETH, a little bit trapped between the bigger point of control and the value area low, already measured from halfway January, also underneath that channel, if you might remember, and it looks like we just cannot break out of that little bit of price action. You really do not want to see this value area low being lost If that happens, there's also much more room to the downside. If we also stay there and we can eventually overcome that point of control at 1570, then I think there is more room to the upside. Actually, I first would still be looking at that channel. Depends a little bit on when we are going to tap it down again, around 1650 would that be, just because it has been support and resistance so many times. Let's say it will still take some time and this channel is much further. It might even coincide here with the golden pocket at 1665 to 1670, but let's see how it looks once we start moving up. If we go lower, same for BTC, you actually do not want to see this low being taken out. Once you start closing daily candles underneath 1475, it's lights out and we're going much lower than the bullish market structure has been invalidated, and we are making us up for bearish market structure once we then also confirm a lower high, and then really bearish market structure is in play. So far, like I said, I am looking with great interest right now at the prices. It looks a little bit boring, but we have seen this multiple times, actually just like we have seen this here. I also said we beat the C, and I also stated this on Twitter. I have seen this price action already a million times. Go sideways, you think nothing is happening, everyone is off guard, everyone is falling asleep, and then suddenly, wham, mega move, and then that will determine then the sentiment for the days to come. And this could be exactly the same. Sideways action, everyone thinks it's just not so much going on, they're waiting with certain data, and out of nowhere, wham, there's suddenly some move to the upside or to the downside. So just be careful for that, don't be caught off guard. Alright guys, that was it for now. Like I said, price action not all too exciting, but you know now which levels I am looking out for. In the meantime, of course, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Like I said, the links in the description. And if you would like the video and subscribe or leave me a comment, I would really appreciate it. With that being said, see you in the next one. Bye bye.